This reminds me, actually, not at all related to this tournament, but I saw the little Ting advertisement in our chat. So, we're not doing Ting stuff right now, so this isn't me like super sellout mode. This is just more of like a letting you guys know. I learned this morning that tomorrow they're going to film the AMA for the giveaway. Like,
Cool.
the giveaway will still be open, and you can still enter it between now and March 7th. But tomorrow they're going to film the AMA. Oh, hey, Partoof! That name sounds familiar. I've heard this guy before. Why does this name sound so familiar, Zombie? I can't place it.
He might be on a coin. Maybe he's a president.
Probably. President makes sense. Partoof, 29 months, man. Thank you very much. Big love. But I was going to say really quick, the AMA tomorrow. So if you guys want to get into the Ting AMA, you have to tweet at Ting for the win. Use the hashtag TingOpen and ask them any question. Apparently, they have got like 70% of the questions pertain to me being a vampire. That's whatever. So if you want a chance to have your question asked in the video, you're going to have to be a little more original than that. But tweet at Ting for the win. Hashtag TingOpen. You can win a Samsung Galaxy J7. The drawing for this is still available through till March 7th. But if you want to get involved with the AMA, like, you have to get your questions in pretty much today. I was wondering what you were typing. It was just bullshit copy paste. Son of a bitch, Zombie Grub. I'm so disappointed in you right now. All right, well, welcome back to the Who the Fuck Didn't Go to Katowice. I might have to disqualify both of these players, though, because they both come from Poland. The bottom left, it's going to be the Green Zerg player, Guru.
In the top left, as the Teal Zerg, he is Tefel.
So to be perfectly clear, there's no actual requirements on this tournament, like, oh, if you've actually been to Katowice, you can't play. It was just a bit of a joke name because today was the day all the players were leaving for IEM, departing around the world to go play. Some people left earlier, of course. Some people left today. Some people left yesterday. And we know IEM Katowice is going to eat up the next week for a lot of these players. So one last kind of hurrah before we take our bit of a hiatus. And again, it's not even that much of a hiatus because... well, we don't have anything major planned. Tomorrow, we're still casting the CSL in the evening. Then the day after, we're casting IEM, 7 best of 5s. Like,
It's a long day.
you just have to understand for Zombie Rob and myself, days like this, where we just casually cast one thing, this is almost a day off.
Yeah. And Thursday we CSL again, and...
There's actually... I wish there's a way to do it to make it interesting, but it's frankly boring. But there's actually a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that goes on. Like, we're pretty much always working, quote unquote, is what it says to say. We haven't just like sat down and played Archon mode or some dumb game in a while, which, man, I miss our dumb Armello sessions. I'm not gonna lie, those are pretty stupid and fun. But I'm really excited to have some time off in March. Stick around, play some Sonic Racing. I don't know.
I figured out that game pretty quickly, so I always win.
No, that game was bullshit about luck. That was it. First
really
time we
is.
play, I got totally screwed by like random luck.
Yeah. I'm pretty lucky at that game. I actually have won the most, but not because I know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah. This attack on the Tefel was going to be nice, but Guru had set up a pretty decent wall. He had a couple of queens, and the Spine Crawler, while sometimes unconventional, we see some players just plopping down almost blindly because of how common banlings are. So, I mean, he knew what was going on from his Overlord Scout, but I like that he played it super safe regardless.
Thank you, Mista 2, for resubbing. The big resub too.
Oh, 23 months. Jeez. Him and Partoof. Damn. Thank you guys so much. That's so cool to see double digits just in general, but to see like for those who don't know, these are the highest scores right here. Like Partoof, I think was subbed like within the first week of BaseTradeTV having a sub option.
Impressive. It's a long time to still like us. Still like Rifkin.
I don't even like you, man. We've been around.
That's true. I don't like you either.
Good. Then we got that in common. This is like
you anyways, Baka.
Yeah, but Baka. So this is kind of cool. We got the Overlord drops coming in, but the problem is that this is just going to be for the 8 roaches. This isn't going to be like the really sick, super sulky ultimate drop of all time, Ultimate Destiny. This maybe is going to be annoying. The problem that we have with this that gets presented constantly, roach versus roach, is that their attacks are slow. So it does take a while, and it's very difficult to actually clean up roach drops. But at the same time, this doesn't guarantee a lot of damage either. This only guarantees damage if the opposing player is just too stubborn to actually come back and deal with it.
Yeah. Well, Tefel is sort of out of position. He had lings and roaches, a handful of roaches kind of waiting here, but not quite enough. Or, yeah, enough with the reinforcements. Yeah, okay. But the +1 is something I was paying more attention to for Guru. It's almost done, and maybe it's going to help out this drop a little bit. But Tefel not getting any upgrades. Definitely looking to attack. He's got reinforcements. He wants to rally most of them to the attack, and with these chasing the overlords, looks like that's fine over there.
That's such a mean spot to take a pause in a sentence. Tefel not getting anywhere with things.
Wow. Only if you think that way. Jeez.
Ace Lude. Ace Lude.
God.
Alright, so the attack does commence here in the natural base, and Guru, of course, is missing a decent amount of his army because it's across the map, but the spine probably helped bridge a little bit of that gap. However, the roach count's still monstrously large for Tefel, and he's just bullying his way through this mineral line. And as roaches start spawning here, they're not going to be able to bulk up in number. They're not going to be able to really stop this attack. And what can he do other than try and drop some roaches on the other side to be able to get some counterattack damage done? But even then, it's too far gone. GG.
We see this surprisingly often with the 2 Overlord drop. Like, they'll have part of their army on the other side, and they just won't be able to defend against an attack. He's also just, like, down in roaches in general, because he went for that +1.
Yeah, well, next map is Dusk Towers. So not a drop map, I think it's safe to say. Oh, shout out to Smart Zach, by the way. Not only is he subscribed to us, he's also subscribed to Lethal Frag. Those are some rather dapper emotes, my good sir.
Good sir.
I love, actually, when I run into, not in our stream, but like when I'm hanging out in someone else's stream and I see emotes from another streamer that like we both have in common, it's just kind of like that, like, hey, like that kind of like,
hey.
You're cool, what's up?
I've never had that happen. Well, no, I actually have had that happen once. It was like in like a ESL chat or something for StarCraft 2, and someone used a gillyweed emote. I was like, that's random. But yay!
I was
sometimes I use this emote.
I was in a She Who Should Not Be Named stream, and I saw 2 people using Herona emotes, and I'm like, because, you know, Herona made most of our emotes for those who don't know, and I love Herona, so I was like, I just found, like, the best friends in this chat.
Hey.
But, okay, Dusk Towers is coming up, map number 2. It is 1-0 for Tefel, and we'll see you guys here in just a sec. All right, we're back. Game number 2 in this best of 3 currently underway. Spawning here in the top right side of Dusk Towers, we've got the Teal Zerg player, Tefel.
In the bottom left is the green Zerg. He's Guru.
Now, as mentioned before, both these players are Polish, and both of them are pretty damn good at this game. To see Guru get so just wrecked by Tefel, I feel, wasn't that Tefel did anything super amazing, right? Like, he went for a small attack, didn't do much, blah, blah, blah. But it was the fact that it was Guru who chose to go for roach drops. And the reason I don't love that is because, A, it does struggle to get damage done unless your opponent is stubborn and silly. But on top of that, it takes away a significant amount of your army to go for a small drop.
Yeah. And on such a short map, sure, the drop gets there pretty quickly, but the attack also gets there really quickly while you're still trying to reinforce.
Yeah.
We might see it in this map, but much later on, as it goes into a macro game. Thanks to Lob Boss, resubbing 17 months in a row.
Oh, man, do you think that's Bob Loblaw's Lob Boss?
Maybe he works at Loblaws.
By the way, this emote I love doing in chat, like, kind of the AA, since we're doing that bunch emote, like, I don't know what the actual name of it is, so I just Google guy pointing, and it's the first Reddit thread that comes up.
Oh, of course.
My favorite thing is that the response to it is Ann Perkins.
I do remember that one. I have to Google the shrug emote, and I have to Google the face.
Lenny face?
Emote. Yeah, which I can't use, I guess.
Did you make a deal with Scarlett? Like, I'll just never use it again.
Yeah.
It's a blood oath.
That's not something you should do, by the way. Blood oath.
Oh, I thought girls did it like every month. Don't you guys all hail Satan or something?
Yeah, be hail Satan.
I mean, that's how I made sense of it, at least. Okay, so...
I mean, if it's coming out anyways,
might as well make use of it, right? Like, Why let it go to waste? I mean, if you're not gonna have a baby, come on.
So gross.
Okay, so a couple things coming on the map for Guru. He's gonna try and duck in here to scout. Seeing a third hatchery this early is actually gonna be something that's worth scouting. Not only just this base here, because we see a lot of Zerg players actually taking this as their natural, but to run to the back and confirm that this is a third.
Mm-hmm. The Baneling nest coming down from both of them, as well as speed.
What is that? It is a creepiest. I'm gonna put that on stream because I want people to have context as to like what I'm talking about here. Zombie Grub, while we're talking about emotes, just does this. And I'm like, what the fuck face is this?
I have a bookmark tab, super kawaii emoticons.
Nice. I just look for. I either Google donger list or I just, like I said, Google guy pointing. Those are my two go-tos.
And Perkins.
And Perkins. All right, so for Guru, actually, I'm gonna break the graphs here. So enjoy them while you can, guys. Look at that, Tefel's mining better. Woo! He didn't actually scout the natural base. Now he might be reading into it, saying, "Okay, that's a third." But the problem, I really would say, and especially this is more prevalent on Europe than the other two servers combined, is that people have been taking this base as their natural a lot. So to assume that this is 3 bases is a huge assumption out of Guru.
Well, it's not going to hurt him this game. The only thing that's hurt him is actually just, the fact that he didn't get his own quick third. And is a little behind on those drones. We have a faster lair for Tefel, but Guru's isn't so far behind either. And they're both going for the same tech for now. We'll see if either one of them decides to switch over into Mutas, which is very popular on Dusk Towers. At least one of them usually does it.
Oh my god. Inlet Enigma just made it better. The Lob boss is in charge of job loss at Bob Loblaw's.
That was pretty good.
It's so hard to actually say that. Like actually try and say that.
Hold on, I need to actually find it. Where was it?
Job loss was just what it was added on.
Oh, well, I can't remember then.
How do you not remember this?
Bob Loblaw's Loblog job loss?
No, now you just...
I'm just saying words.
You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Okay, so Tefel, by the way, has tried several times to get in here with Guru, excuse me. Tried to get into Tefel's base several times with Lings, and each time been bent with the fate of a Baneling, and unfortunately has not been able to get scouting information. Finally does, confirms it's roaches, and as you said, he's going to be feeling a lot better finally having gotten a scout, but he's also knowing that his build didn't hurt him in this game.
The vampire emotes that came down for that conversation is totally messed up. You guys are gross.
The vampire thing?
For the other conversation.
Yeah, no, I know. I've actually got do you want to hear a really terrible joke?
No?
Okay. I'll just say it involves making tea. For a vampire.
No.
Alright, so actually, 4th base is getting slapped down. This is weird, because if you describe to me the way this was going, without actually naming Zerg, hatchery, like actually just saying, okay, a building to mine with was taken at the 4th at this time, like, I would say, oh, you're casting a PvP in HOTS. Like, I wouldn't expect this to really be this passive 4th base situation.
Yeah, well, it's gotten there. And neither one of them even decided to go for a Mutalisk switch, which usually causes the person to attack before they get to Mutalisk, or the Mutas usually cause some type of, harassment, and we just aren't seeing much of anything. Finally see a push out from Guru, who does have the speed about to finish up. He's +1. No Hydralisk Den. Guru does have Hydralisk Den. Tefel doesn't have one. My bad. But Guru, I wonder if he's going to try and get to Lurkers immediately. He's actually going to add in these Hydralisks first. He's an army, a bigger army actually for Tefel, up 20 army supply.
Oh, and someone just subscribed, which unfortunately means our silly banter is working on one of you schmucks. Thank you, Javatar93. Alright, I want to actually, wait. I want to call him Jav-Atar. 2 names in one.
J-Avatar.
Javatar. Alright, the attack does continue, and I mean, creep spread, we've talked about this, right? We've actually seen some people in chat voicing their opinions, certain pros, where creep spread is not a great thing all the time for Zerg versus Zerg. yes, it's more mobility for you, and it should be enough to at least connect bases, but a lot of the times if this starts going too far out, you actually give your opponent advantage in some situations.
Yeah, sometimes. Just up to the person if they want the chance of that or they want the vision. I think it plays a much bigger part if one of you is going for Roach Hydra and the other one's going for Mutalisk, which did not actually happen in this game, but does tend to on Dusk Towers.
There's a pretty big Roach lead here for Tefel. Guru really does have to be careful about this, and because he's looking to invest in some lurkers, he doesn't want to have to spend a lot of money replacing these roaches. So I like that he backs away, but if he just lets Tefel walk in, that's also not going to be good. So he kind of has to feign a fight, like take a stance ready to fight, but not actually fight until those lurkers are out. It's probably his best bet.
Yeah, well, that would be ideal, but still some time. They're actually maxed out, so can't get too many lurkers, and, well, this is odd. You're gonna realize you're passing by each other? There we go. Tefel starts off with a much better concave.
When he lands his Corrosive Biles, Guru misses his. Unit count's actually a little bit better for Guru coming into this, but the problem is still, once again, if he loses too much, he won't be able to afford the lurkers behind it. But if he takes a good enough fight that he can win the game off of it, even better. That Roach count is starting to dwindle up for both sides, and as they start losing their buffer, the Ravagers become susceptible.
Couple of points there where maybe they could have pulled back each other's Ravagers, but it kind of it's a very even trade. Tefel still with the lead in the actual army count, but not with the tech lead. He's going to have an upgrade lead with 2-1, but I think Lurkers would beat that if Guru could get to a nice amount. He's not really banking a ton of money, however, as most of it did go into just plain old Hydralisk, so it's not going to be too many Lurkers to deal with off the bat for Tefel. And they aren't the end-all, be-all that they were originally when they were tried in ZvZ. You get a good concave, you redirect your attack, and you can still do better than the Lurkers.
Well, coming back to the production tab, as we're done looking at units. I guess there's only a couple Lurkers right off the bat. Again, a lot of money was spent on Ravagers and Roaches, so we're not going to see that like 15 count like we saw with Mini Razor earlier.
Nope. There's 2 for now. A couple more drones for Guru is a little surprising. Bring up to a total of 75. It's quite a big drone count. 2 Lurkers, really, not scary. Tefel, though, I guess just making sure that no 5th base is coming down without his notice. They don't have Overlord spread. In fact, neither of them have gotten the Overlord speed, which, for drops later on would be useful, but also just to have that presence on the map without, losing all your Overlords to Corrosive Bile shots, which he's in danger of. Tefel's in danger of with all these clumped up Overlords.
Well, shots getting fired left and right, but these are going to get surrounded and possibly killed. There's not actually a lot of area to run by, but Guru's going to take advantage of Tefel chasing. Oh, Tefel! Mistakes are made. Killing this Roaches is not it's not worth losing a base.
No, it is not.
Guru!
And his Overlords,
Oh,
they
this
just
is
went
so
by
sick.
him. Yeah, I think he saw it, just didn't, wasn't actually looking. He tries to split up his army to still take out the Roaches and defend
If he
against
splits,
this.
though, he can kill all the drones, or at least a significant amount of the drones. And the problem is, again, Roaches don't get cleaned up easily. This will take time, and he is going to kill a lot of drone zombie grub.
It wasn't even the Ravagers that Tefel had to be scared of. I forgot that Guru, of course, is going for Hydralisk. So
And Lurkers,
Hydralisk
yeah.
have been picking off the Overlords that were in the middle of the map. Not quite supply blocking Tefel, but a couple more could have gone down.
Oh, Jesus,
And,
look at that worker count right now. 74-17.
Jesus.
Problem
Now,
is,
luckily, they both had a huge bank. If Tefel put everything he
Right.
had in his drones, he would be up, again.
No. Look what he's up by putting it all in army. He's got 182 supply in army. Like, Tefel actually may have a better army because of what Guru just did. But the thing for Tefel is, even with this mineral bank that he has, this is like a one-hit wonder. This incredibly high army count has to win the game with this push because he's not going to be able to remake after this. Guru can.
You're not going to make drones
snipe
after
the
you lose
overseers.
a huge army.
Oh, if he snipes those overseers, Tefel doesn't stand a chance, but he doesn't. The concave's looking sick. These Lurkers are not getting the splash damage that they want. Look at that surround. Almost 360. Wrapping around the backside. Lurkers getting picked off, and Tefel with that huge army supply lead does even it up, and that is going to actually mean he probably pushes in to win, but 24 Roaches are about to pop for Guru. And the question really is, can Tefel take on 24 more Roaches on top of everything he just killed? It's not looking like it.
If they're coming out one by one, and they kind of are, the drone's coming out to help as well, but here they are collecting themselves on the front line. Tefel had a really good attack, but it's not going to be enough. Guru's just going to be able to survive with his reinforcements. Tefel, of course, has a couple going across the map, but not many. That's game.
Yeah.
GG.
GG. Well played out of Guru. ties this up 1-1. All right, so we're going to sneak into a quick commercial break, hopping here to game number 3, and we'll be back in a moment. See you guys soon. I am heavily regretting drinking my last energy drink today because I just realized I'll probably have to go buy some more for IEM.
Oh, yeah. I still have a coffee thing I bought at the Korean store that I was supposed to use for the Luma League.
Yeah, I got to say, like, I don't know the difference in effectiveness, but, like, the 5-hour energy versus, like a full can of Monster, right? I'd say Red Bull, but Monster's bigger, so that's what I'm using the context here. But I feel like no matter what I drink, I always just feel like garbage afterwards. Like, the second we get off the cast and I go to crash, I've got, like, the shakes and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go sleep.
Yeah, I feel like that's what they warn you about on, like, the warning label and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't drink those anymore.
Yeah, I think what it might be is, because I don't actually drink them often, the caffeine probably is just like... Because I don't drink coffee either, right? So your body's just like, what the fuck is this caffeine shit? I don't know what's going on. But okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Game number 3. Going down, spawning the bottom right. Oh, they swapped colors. No, wait. Did they? Ah, it's Tefel.
Well, it's different colors entirely.
Yeah, okay.
In the top right, as the green Zerg, he is Guru.
That rarely, if never, actually bothers me, but it's the fact that Tefel, I guess, he's always green. Just thinking on it, like he's pretty much almost always green, given any opportunity.
Oh, did Guru do some mind tactics then, like mentally disturb him by choosing his color?
Mind
Tefel's
tactics? Doesn't everyone do that? How else do you get minerals?
Mind tactics.
What is that laugh? What is that laugh? Nah. It sounds like you're trying to do a really bad machine gun impression. Nah.
You need a laugh for every scenario, including awkward.
A lady has a laugh for every scenario.
I don't think a lady would have some of the laughs that I have, including my stoner laugh.
I was gonna say your laughs aren't that bad, but like I hear this really cute giggle, you hear hee-haw. Like I don't understand where you're going with that.
Well, like you always talk about how I have like a stoner laugh, and a lady shouldn't have a stoner laugh.
You totally do sometimes, but you also have a really infectious laugh, and that's part of it. We've talked about it so many times. You get me riled up. It's not fair. Like when I'm casting with Ravi, it's like it's a lot more chill because he does a dumb giggle, but it doesn't set me off. You do a dumb giggle, I'm like, yep, now I'm in stupid, silly bugger mode too. Nailed it.
I'd actually agree with that. Well, Fear Dragon, just his delivery with his jokes, okay? It just sometimes it's just not as good as ours.
I mean, I don't want to say I agree
RT.
with you, but
It's just he doesn't have confidence, you know?
Oh.
Like he'll have like a really good pun, and then he'll kind of like trail off.
I gotta give a halfway shout out to Crazy Thing in chat. Guy has some pterodactyl emotes, Terror Rage, but he doesn't have his BaseTradeTV subscriber badge, so it's a halfway shout out for being sort of cool.
Oh, well then that's whatever.
I gotta say, like, with all the stuff I've been to for meetups, we always talk about the silly things that we bond over, like bitching about commercials you get left out on because you got turbo, but also like talk about what streamers we're all mutually sub to. And one weird thing I've really found, and I really don't know the reason for this. We got an attack coming, so I'll keep this short, guys. But other streamers seem to be more willing to sub to other streamers more, I guess. Like, we talked to a couple of people who are just fans, so to speak, right? They say they sub to maybe 3 to 5 people. I'm subbed to like 13 people. Half the people I met at the Twitch meetup were subbed to at least 8 or more that were also streamers. I just kind of found it was like a very interesting coincidence, I guess. And I'm wondering what the reasoning for that is. Like maybe, I don't know, we'll talk about some other time. The attack is underway and the banelings are out. They're blue, they're glowing, they're wondrous, but oh, they're susceptible if they stay clumped up like this.
Yeah, there's a very interesting micro going down there. They're both controlling the Lings as well as the Banelings to try and get the optimal attack here. And you know, Guru is still committing to a lot of Lings just to defend for now, but he's also got a Roach Warren. He could have a very harsh counterattack that includes Roche's, but of course he wants to save his third base first.
What's worse for Guru is if he loses this situation, you know, Tefel went for that third base so early. Like, he was already ahead in that regard. And by knocking this down would certainly take Guru down a peg, but Guru's looking like he's going to hold his own here. It's not going so well for Tefel, but it looked good when he had all those Banelings.
It did. I mean, there was like a mass amount of lings compared to Guru, but he was starting his own production up, and he just barely has enough. Tefel does fit on his own Roach Warren now. Guru, I said, could have maybe had a counterattack that would have been really deadly, but he goes for an Evolution Chamber. So, no counter here. Even army supply, even drones. They're both droning really hard, in fact. I suppose Tefel could follow up with his own Roach, another Roach, all-in attack, and maybe it's... He's got a pretty good drone counts. No evolution chamber for him. Ling's still trying to buy, not time, but I guess distraction here.
And it's doing just that. Like, it's really keeping Guru busy. He's had to invest in a lot more Lings and Banlings than I think he initially wanted to. And the Evo Chamber was maybe going to hurt him here, I don't know. We'll see if he chooses to actually invest in anything or not, because that could be minerals and gas that he needs for defense rather than plus upgrades.
Tefel's getting a lot of overlords to fill up that space with something. Oh my god, 8 overlords. Good god. And it might be roaches, but he doesn't have that much gas. It might just be more droning. Still no lair for him, as Guru starts his, and Guru's +1. You see this very, very commonly in ZvZ. You get to this roach stage, it's usually one person doesn't go for an evolution chamber or lair, the other person does, and it's about the all-in versus the hold, and this time it's going to be Tefel looking for that attack.
So a very interesting thing being brought up in chat. WTF, he went 3 hatch, right? What's kind of interesting about this is the way the ZvZ started to go towards the end of the beta. And then because of all the raging plague of 13-12s and 14-14 pools, people had to stop doing it. So I guess if you've got a good read on your opponent, they're not somebody to just do early pools all the time. I mean, I think Rogue was doing it. We saw Snoot do it. I'm trying to think of other Zergs. I want to say Sulky, but I don't actually remember time Sulky doing 3 hatch that we've cast.
TLO did it a couple of times. I remember Echo back in the day.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not a bad opener, but it definitely has a very, very obvious weakness. But again, because Tefel knew how Guru was going to play, and he called. I mean, it could have been called a coin flip if you'd like, but he called what was happening. He was able to get away with it.
Yeah, and what the lead that he gained was used in that attack, and it's not really a lead anymore because of that earlier hatchery. This is actually just someone who's going for an all-in versus someone who's trying to macro and has to defend, and that's why Tefel has almost 20 armor supply in the lead. The queens are out. They're going to try and help. Not too many transfuses on them.
Yeah, the attack actually going to go way better for Guru if he can keep these numbers up. Again, with a couple transfuses possibly coming in 3 or 4 seconds, Tefel's army is going to take a long time to reinforce, but it is starting to snowball, and it's starting to get out of hand. That Roach guy's 16/9. Got to give a real full-way shout-out now to Crazy Thing. I was just teasing, man. I didn't actually think he was going sub, but got to give you some love, man. This is a good person right there, guys in chat. Make sure to give him some Tasia claps if you didn't already. And if you're cool enough to be subbed to, I guess, Pterodactyls for the win, give some Terra Hearts too. But okay, the third base goes down. Yeah, 15 drones on top of this. I mean, Tefel gets good damage in here at the end of the day. It may not have been the game-ending damage that he was looking to straight up win with, but it does put him ahead in a very, very noteworthy position because Guru is probably about a minute from mining out of his main.
He's pretty close to it. He has had the economic advantage for the last 3 minutes or so, and still kind of has that in his pocket here with, Guru's 600 minerals here. He could throw down a third base. Tefel lost out on technology, so he's down an upgrade, and he doesn't have speed, which Guru could chase with. Throws down his third, like I said. He had the minerals for it, and could just reinforce an attack of his own. Looks like he's going to. There's always that, I don't know, because if you have an opportunity to counterattack and you actually have this army lead, then way to go, good job, that was the right thing to do. But if it's really, really even, then you could just throw away the army that would be used defensively while you get your third up. Because of course, until that third's up, you won't actually have really convincing, confident mining like you would want, in a macro game.
Yeah. I actually, I thought this third base was going to set Guru back so much further, but I guess, yeah, having looked at the income graph, having a lot of money just to go kind of works out, I guess. I really, the second that went down, I was like, okay, this is going to just start spiraling out of control, but Guru's still with the lead, in army supply. He's got the upgrade advantage, just in so many different ways. looking better than Tefel, even though he shouldn't be.
Yeah, he is looking good in this game, but it's a lot of opportunity for comebacks as this game is pretty even. Like Guru would have to have a lot of confidence in his attack because it would look like even numbers. I mean, it really is. He might be like clicking on the upgrades, but even still, like that one upgrade could be defeated by Defender's Advantage, a couple of extra queens, maybe if you have a lot of Spine Crawler or two. So you'd have to have a lot of confidence to actually push in at this point, which hey, Guru might have. He's not going to have +2. If you waited for it, he'd have like a 10-second window between the +1, I think.
There's a definite issue here, though, where
20, yeah.
I am wondering how big of a factor Defender's Advantage is going to play. So neither player is maxed out, but it's the fact that Tefel's going to be constantly producing anyways, that this reinforcement should be, boom, out and good to go. Problem is, well, Guru's waiting for his +2, Tefel's waiting for his +1, and these upgrades are going to time out in very similar times.
Yeah, well, Guru's going to attack in here now. His +2 is almost done. He has like 20 seconds to have that a complete 2-0 after Tefel, but that concave was too good. He really wanted to just use it as a distraction tactic so he could kill this 4th base, because he's actually behind on that 4th base, and it didn't work. So Tefel, you know, he's still going to be down that upgrade as they both finish up theirs, but he
Ooh, over-dedication. Over-dedication to chase off those roaches leaves him a little exposed around the front lines.
A little bit. Guru is the one that's now potentially in trouble. Down 10 drones, down a 4th base. He's going for tech again, basically. Well, Tefel's going to have to try and catch up in those upgrades. Actually getting a second evolution chamber to get +1 Carapace.
Guru may go for lurkers again, depending on what he wants to do with the Hydra Den.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the thing where Tefel, because we talked about this base dynamic, and he does have better mining on more bases, yeah, his income looks way better. The problem is he's not going to really receive benefits from that income bonus until 3 or 4 minutes from now, even. So he's got to live for that long in the first place. Ravages go down pretty quick. A lot of Overlords on top of this. And that keeps Tefel from able to max out, even.
That was a nasty beginning to that fight, but actually pushes Guru back into a choke, which of course is going to scare him away with Corrosive Biles, but that was like almost an even army supply, and with Guru's start became a 20 army supply in his lead. It is going to back off, though. He has the opportunity to wait for tech, where Tefel is just simply waiting for an upgrade, although his second one would have, I think, preferably it would have started by now. He just doesn't remember he got a second evolution chamber, something like that. The lurkers will just be the best thing for Guru here. They're going to be able to get into the chokes and then maybe even harass.
Yeah, as you say, the last time we saw lurkers, it was a crazy surround on the lurkers, and that's only available because of a big open space, like say right here. But outside of this one spot around the 3rd, there's not really a lot of other areas that don't have ramps or chokes or some variety of way that the terrain shapes up the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, lurkers aren't here for this fight, and once again, more Overlords going down. And Tefel, he didn't replace that first badge. He's really got to replace this badge, because this actually straight up supply blocks him.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. That was brutal. He's trying to replace them one by one. Here we go. Now on supply blocked, chasing into Guru's army. So that's upgrade disadvantage, which he will have an advantage of in like a couple of minutes here. But Guru's on the way to those lurkers.
The funny thing about the upgrades in this game, though, is I feel, and I can't say this for sure, we don't have like damage meters or anything. Which, side note, you can actually make, but would take up too many resources and lag the players out. Just fun fact. But I'm pretty sure the Ravager Corrosive Biles have been a majority of the damage for these in and out engagements, which means these upgrades, funny enough, haven't been that relevant, because of course they don't benefit from it. It's just 60 damage no matter what, all the time, always.
Mm-hmm. Now Tefel's finally on his way to his own lurkers here. It's going to take some time, because it's the lurker den that has to finish, which is a very long upgrade, and then the actual lurkers have to appear. Reinforcing your army, however, with Hydras until that point is never a bad option, though. Like in the back lines, adding that DPS, they're always going to be useful. Actually catches Guru trying to go to that 4th again, and will be able to clean out that little army. In fact, sees it as an opportunity to do something. He will have that upgrade. He's reinforcing with a couple of Hydras, but no, there's the attack that kills quite a few drones, actually. Going to go into the main base. Guru with a little bit of a bank, can't afford to lose these.
Yeah, this is the tricky thing when dealing with roaches. They do not get cleaned up easily. Like,
Oh.
this actually draws a large portion of Tefel's army out of position. I think realizing this perhaps a little bit the last second, both players are going to have this base to contest, but Tefel's the one who needs it. This is where the hydrogen is. This is where his maybe eventual lurkers become. But right now, it is roaches, ravagers, and hydras, and no real good way to deal with the lurker. He's guessing where that is, by the way. He has no detection.
Yeah, he's getting an overseer right now. He finally finds it. And it moves.
So the way I just want to point out, the way Tefel is moving to dodge the lurker spines is actually really ineffective, because all he's doing is dragging one part of his army in while the other part of the army steps out. He should just be straight up splitting, and I'm not sure why he's moving like this. It's very awkward to watch.
Well, yeah, I think he just, from having to deal with all that harassment in the main base, he's put everything back on a one hotkey probably, and is just moving it as a clump, which, you don't want to do. So now he's starting to get, more level-headed here, and does split his army a little bit. We just send the Ravagers forward and let them do the Corrosive Biles. He got his Hydralisk Den, but he does not have a Lurker Den himself. And now Guru's attack finally gets into that fourth base. Tefel down by 30 drones. That's where his army supply comes up again, just like last game. But I don't know if he can deal with these Lurkers. That is a lot. And they're going to look for the high ground.
Oh god, he just ate like a chunk of the Corrosive Biles right in the heart of his army.
I thought that Guru was going to do something clever and try and put them on like the ledge, but Tefel doesn't have an overseer covering them. The Guru does something clever and he sends his roaches to the fourth base again, which Tefel just is not even going to try.
Tefel, like, on tilt with that loss, man.
Yep.
Can't blame him, though. All right, we also had Renard T. Fox sub or resub 14 months. I don't remember if we actually shouted that out or not, so I'm just going to cover my bases and do it maybe again or for the first time. Either way, thank you for being with us for 14 months, sir. Now, Solo still doesn't have an opponent by the looks of things. Is Euthermo really still in the game? He is. They've been in there for about 14, 15 minutes now, so ideally, they are in Game 3 and they'll be finished soon. Oh, yeah, she just got out. Hey, score.
Hey.
If they go to Game 3, we'll catch Game 3. If they're not, then we'll play Solo versus the winner. We are, however, going to go to 2 minutes of commercials, so do stick around, and we'll see you guys soon.